Here's a film I know you've never heard of. Written and directed by Bibs Austria, what a name. We have the hidden gem See Mario at See Goku, also known in English as Super Mario vs. Son Goku. That's right. A 1995 unlicensed Filipino movie starring your favorite vegetable and Italian plumber, fighting it out in a battle to the death. Well, not exactly. But this is definitely one of the most obscure and interesting films I've ever come across, and I just had to share it with the world. The IMDb page shows a 4.4 out of 10 with only 8 ratings, and a description that reads, quote, Looney William Martinez stars as your compu wacko thrill seeker who entered into a series of hell-raising misadventures that will take the viewers to the outskirts of computer-generated fantasia. Isabel Granada also dished out an equally riveting comical thespian power as Martinez's Lady Love. Yeah, I have no idea what I just read. But we also have this beautiful box art of this movie, and you're probably wondering, how does one even watch this? Do you have to track down some old, obscure bootleg VHS tape, or some out-of-print DVD from some shady seller? Well, luckily for us, no. The full movie is actually available on YouTube as of creating this video, and somehow this masterpiece only has 8K views, which is just a travesty. Now, I have to preface this by saying that this film adapts parts of 2 Japanese franchises and what I assume to be Tagalog, with some English. But the movie is presented from an out-of-print DVD that had Spanish subtitles, which I then had my friend translate back to me in English at points so that I could try to piece together a semblance of a plot in this movie. So apologies if things are lost in translation or if things don't make any sense at all, because half the time we don't even know what's happening. Okay, so the film opens up with this dude walking through the streets, who initially from his costume you might think is Mario, right? Makes sense. Well, this is actually Luigi. Yes, despite wearing a red Mario-like outfit and not green, this is Luigi. Actually, to be precise, Professor Luigi. Maybe. I actually don't even know, but we really had no clue when we were watching it. At first we thought this was Mario, but we'll soon find out that's not the case. Because Luigi walks into some kind of computer lab and we meet this scientist dude. And we couldn't really pick out a name, but as the credits tell us, this is Einstein. Yes. Oh, and yeah, some other guys later, but that's spoilers, come on. So Einstein starts doing some sort of orchestral music with the computers, and I have no idea what this means. So then Einstein has a very strange dream where he becomes Mario and starts dancing with a girl named Maria, who basically turns out to be Princess Peach, but then she's pulled away and the doctor wakes up. So then Einstein asks seemingly random people on the street if they've seen the girl from his dreams, as you do, but that doesn't work out. So he proceeds to look for her on Google, the next logical step of course, at least according to our subtitles. That doesn't work either, I guess, and he just goes back to sleeping, hoping to see her again in his dreams. He wakes up and is transported to Mario Land. Maybe. Mushroom Kingdom? I don't know. Everyone knows I'm not the Mario guy, come on now. So then he actually does transform into Mario yet again. Why, how, who knows. Anyway, he saves the princess, Maria, from some Koopas? Then we see the big boss of the movie, Gorgo. Not a character from Mario that I can remember, but yeah, he's like the Bowser of this movie. Basically just a giant with 3 heads, because why not? Also, no relation to this 60s kaiju, at least I don't think so. Then, for whatever reason, we see another scientist guy in the office seeing everything going down in the game world. I have no idea to this day who this is. Maybe this is actually Professor Luigi. He did have the lab coat, but then who's this dude? Maybe they're the same guy? Actually no, because they later appear in the same scene together. But I don't know, it's not really important. This guy shows up for a couple of scenes and then we'd never see him again. Just know he teleports Mario back into the real world. Einstein then goes on to have an exposition monologue about how he transforms into Mario. And we see him as well as the bootleg Mario, possibly also Luigi. I know it's getting confusing already here, bear with me, wearing keyboards around their necks for some reason. Again, we still have no idea what this means and we never figure it out. Okay, so then they go back into the game world, and Mario stumbles upon Krillin from Dragon Ball, who throws some shurikens at him, but Mario has speech 100, so it's all good. So they set off to go rescue the princess. Then we get a really strange scene of some Koopas trying to kill a cow, which then cuts to Gorgo eating said cow, I guess. And a lot of the scenes in this movie have really bad lighting, and sometimes you literally can't see anything. But Luigi pretends to be a Koopa and dances with them, while Mario sneaks in and rescues the princess from an unlocked cage. Krillin also fights some Koopas, and then Luigi just stumbles around the cave looking for them. But then shit just goes off the rails, because Mario pulls out the strap. Yes, really. And him, the princess, and Krillin escape from the cave. But for literally no reason, Mario walks back in for like a few seconds, just so he can get left behind when this dude teleports them back in. Then, I don't even know the words to explain this part, so just see it for yourself. Wait, that's not even a gun, that's like a... what is that?
It's like a calculator. Oh, finally, Mario, I found you. Wait.
What the What? My only explanation is Mario somehow points a calculator, which we thought was a gun, at Luigi and teleports him back while Gorgo burns his hair off. That's all I got out of that. And it's at this point that these two are actually in the same room and we realize they're not the same person. So really, who is this guy? Just when you thought it was already confusing enough.
And who is this guy? No more characters.
So this new scientist guy comes into the picture, who at first I kind of thought was Vegeta for a sec, but admittedly that was a stretch. Then this new guy basically just comes in to break their teleporter machine and that's it.
He got a 10-minute cutscene just to do that and now he's gone.
But it doesn't really matter because the nerd guy fixes it in like a minute and Mario returns, so not sure what the point of that scene was. But Krillin does some cool moves and Vegeta, aka Mad Scientist Guy, aka Dr. Gero.
That's Dr. Gero.
Sneaks back in and breaks it again, accidentally summoning Gorgo. It was also at this point that we realized for some reason Einstein permanently turned into Mario, because when he came back to the real world, he didn't turn back into a scientist. I know, it's confusing. Meanwhile, we get actual pitch blackness, which is always fun, and it's at this point where this film actually starts turning into a horror movie. Because for no reason, two random Koopa minions walk into a graveyard and wake up Dracula.
Dracula? Excuse me, bro?
So many
No way we
dude.
inserted Dracula now, bro. Mario and Goku wasn't enough.
So these two minions decide to work for Dracula, so now we've got two villains, and trust me, we're not done. This movie has more characters and factions than Fallout New Vegas. So another rando walks around his house and is attacked by a zombie in a very long and drawn out scene. I know, at this point it feels like we're watching a completely different movie.
Bruh.
Then we've got another really confusing scene where this guy tries to wake up who he calls Boss, and so we thought at this point this must be Dracula, especially since he can't wake up. But we learn, after this guy teabags him for some reason, that this guy isn't even the boss. Apparently it's this guy, and this is a completely different faction. What?
Bro, what?
Go find the zombies.
Sound effects.
What
What is happening, bro? It was a Mario movie, by the way.
So just to recap, we've got the Dr. Mario Guys team, who's not really Mario but transforms into him sometimes, but is him right now. Then you've got Gorgo and his Koopas, then there's Dracula who also has some double agent Koopas working for him, and now you have zombies. And you have this new group of guys, who I can only assume are some sort of gang or something. Anyway, the real boss says something along the lines of, "You let the zombies escape." So I guess they're supposed to be watching them. Where did they come from though? We'll never know. So he sends that guy to go look for the zombies, and then if you can believe it, we're introduced to even more characters. No, I'm not joking. We see a group of kids selling newspapers and stuff from a wagon, and meanwhile the gang members meet up with Maria and Luigi, and they warn them of the zombies, and tell the kids from earlier to go away or something, I don't know. Next we cut to a scene where they changed clothes for some reason, and the boss guy casually takes a outside, which scares away the zombies. So now the kids from earlier meet up with some more new kids, because there weren't enough characters already, and they just casually walk through the cemetery for some reason in pitch blackness, and don't even react when there's just corpses laying on the ground.
Yeah, what? Yeah, those are dead people.
This is how you do cemeteries, by the way. You just throw dead people on the floor. Don't bury them or anything.
So they predictably get attacked by zombies and run away. Mario finally shows up since his last appearance like 30 minutes ago with the princess, who actually saves the kids from the zombies herself. But then Mario gets his big moment to shine too, and Goomba stomps the zombies. It's great. And then you have this incredible scene. Right in the middle of this movie, in this zombie apocalypse scenario, Mario randomly sits the kids down for some kind of speech and lesson about getting jobs or something, which is hilarious. I just love Mario randomly lecturing this guy in the middle of a zombie outbreak. Like, why did they feel the need to include this?
And Mario explaining to hoodlums that drugs are bad. Oh, is that what he was talking about?
Is that what that speech was about?
Oh, okay. And that woman prostituted himself to pay for drugs. Okay.
Jesus.
So that's what that was. So that's what.
But it's okay, because the zombies are taking a much needed break and are just chilling out at a bar, which honestly looks like the Five Nights at Freddy's pizzeria.
Why is Pyramid Head here?
Dracula's even here too, and it's here that we find out that the zombies are actually working for Dracula. Oh, and all the zombies and vampires and whatever else are all drinking blood-related drinks, of course. And there's even a witch who will come up a bit later. And to be honest, this scene just lasts way too long, but Pyramid Head gets some spoken dialogue, so it's all good. Meanwhile, Mario looks for Dracula and encounters the witch, who leads him away.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. What? I think he's trying to trick Mario, I think. What the? What just happened?
So yeah, as you might be able to tell, we had no clue what was going on in this scene. Our best guess is that the witch was pretending to be the princess, and for some reason, Mario takes off his keyboard, which may or may not give him powers. But thankfully, the princess shows up and saves Mario with some electricity abilities. And at this point in the movie, she's low-key carrying. So Mario snaps out of his trance and they leave. And we're back to the Monster Club. Great. We get an incredibly dark scene where Dracula dances to Pretty Woman and you basically can't see anything. And at this point it's so hard to see, we just have no idea what's going on. And these scenes are just starting to linger on screen a little too long. Finally, after about 40 minutes of pitch blackness, it's daytime again, which is a breath of fresh air, but it's short-lived. So Maria and Mario walk around and talk about defeating Gorgo, which is a surprise. I thought they had forgotten about him entirely. And when they're done, they plan on going to Hawaii for some reason. So Mario pulls up on Gorgo, and we have this fever dream of a fight scene, where they actually do make it look like Gorgo is a giant. And it was here that we realized the movie was almost over and Goku hadn't shown up yet. Also, I capped earlier, this guy does return to give Mario another keyboard because I guess he lost his, but that's not important. What is that Mario eats some mushrooms he finds on the ground, and you know what that means. So Gorgo shoots out some fireballs, Mario hits a few keys, which deals damage, I guess, and a crowd that's watching in the back for no reason at all grows big, which is actually normal size now. Yeah, I pretty much just thought I was losing it here.
All the other people got big too. What's?
Where are these people? What's happening?
Yeah.
Back to nighttime again, and the princess battles the witch and her broom, which has a mind of its own for her boss fight. And of course, we can't see anything. Awesome. Back to Mario, and he's made his way to fighting Dracula now. For some reason, I guess he just gave up on Gorgo. So Dracula summons some zombies to fight Mario, but that doesn't work, so then this mini boss fight turns into a tickle fight. But Dracula uses instant transmission and teleports away. Then we get the longest, most hilariously drawn out scene, in which Dracula runs away from these girls and crawls back into his coffin, which eventually kills him, I guess, and that's that.
These scenes, they always just last a little too long.
I was just gonna say this could have been like 10 seconds longer, but they're still going. They're saying the same thing. They're like, he's mine. No, he's mine. No, he's mine. Stupid. This is going.
It's still going
way too long.
Alright, it's over. Alright. Alright, next.
Alright, next scene. Are you coming or not? My first love. What are you talking about? She's like, what are you talking? She said, what are you talking about?
Dude, alright. Holy.
Holy.
But they make up for it here with the best part of the movie.
Oh, yeah, just
my
just
God.
napping Vegeta, just casually.
So yeah, finally, almost an hour and 30 minutes in, we get to the Dragon Ball stuff. Why are they here? Who even knows anymore? Just throw them in, why not? So Mario confronts the two Saiyans, and the nerd guy spawns in Krillin from his computer, because I guess he can do that, and Krillin fends them off while Mario turns into Goku. So Goku beats up Vegeta first, which is interesting, and basically fodderizes him, and Nappa pulls up with his armor and tanks Goku's attacks. But then he just takes off his mask, because apparently he can't breathe fresh air. But then Vegeta does a sneak attack in the back of his head, which is pretty canonical honestly, and the two fly off, with Goku giving chase. And honestly, we've got some pretty impressive flying sequences. I have no idea how they pulled those off, but it was getting too good, and we ran out of our allotted daytime.
Literally pitch black. No way.
Have they been fighting all night long? Is that
what that
happening?
means?
So the fight continues, and once again we get some good effect sequences with these fireballs, or ki blasts I guess. So then we get what looks like the quickest Kamehameha in history, which burns off Vegeta and Nappa's clothes and shrinks them. You really can't make it up.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
That scared me for a second.
That was actually that was the
like-
scariest thing in the whole movie. I was like,
That was like
jump scare.
Mordecard Glazgorb or something.
Yeah.
And somehow, yes, this movie still isn't over, because we've only dealt with 3 out of the 4 main bosses. We've still got Gorgo. So because why not, Goku turns back into Mario, and thankfully it's daytime again at least. So then for seemingly no reason, some randos decide to fight Mario, and almost immediately we're cut off from the daylight, and we get the return of the mad scientist and the zombies.
For the princess still. These guys are doing whatever this is.
The princess fights some zombie martial artists as well, and Krillin fights one of the guys who attacked Mario earlier. So Gorgo finally shows up again, and while Mario is fighting zombies, he kidnaps Maria. And so, like the true hero he is, he abandons the children and leaves them to fight off zombies on their own to go be a simp for the princess. But it's fine, because
Fireballs.
Wait, who's throwing those? The kids? The kids were throwing the fireballs.
Why not?
Luigi also finally returns. Honestly, forgot about him at this point, and with this scene, we just have no clue what's going on.
What?
I have no idea. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Basically, it looks like Gorgo took the princess back into the game world and then destroyed the portal, so bad ending, I guess. We get a time skip or something, and we see the doctor, Einstein again, walking around and drinking, as he happens to stumble upon Maria as a normal human in the computer lab. Also, this scientist guy is there. And Einstein turns back into Mario for some reason and talks with the girl who doesn't seem to remember him. The 3 Gorgo guys are now regular people and are chasing Maria for money? And Mario and her just run away.
And that's it.
Mario or see Goku.
Goku.
In conclusion, was this a fever dream? Yes. Did it make no sense and have horrible lighting? Yes. Did Super Mario actually even fight Son Goku? No. But was it an entertaining watch? Most definitely. So if you want to check this out for yourself, even though I basically spoiled the whole movie, feel free. Throw it on with a couple of buddies and just have some fun with it. But yeah, that's Super Mario vs. Son Goku, the weirdest movie I've ever seen.